My God, this hurts. Sorry, I'm an influencer at heart. My God, I hate this. I'm not gonna blame myself anymore. Hi my loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. Today we are bringing the de-influencing trend from TikTok onto YouTube. I'm going to share with you, how many do I have? 1, 5, 6, 7, 10 products here that I have purchased myself that I do not think are worth your coin. I think there are better things out there. I'm gonna do it properly. I'm not gonna give you alternatives today. This is purely de-influencing, but if you'd like to see some comparisons in a different video, I could do that. But today we're keeping it true to the trend so that people don't yell at me. If you follow me on TikTok, you will have seen that I was the center of some controversy. I am never the center of controversy. Literally 3 weeks on TikTok and I'm already getting cancelled. It's hilarious. But anyway, if you've not seen the de-influencing trend going around, it's basically where influencers talk about products that they have been influenced to buy and that they don't like. So I'm gonna do that today. I'm sure it goes without saying that you guys know I love all of these brands. I've tried products from all of these brands that I've loved, that I enjoy, that I use regularly. These particular products just aren't for me. It doesn't make me hate the brand. Also, just because it's in this video doesn't mean that I actively really dislike this product. There are things that are better that you could get, that you don't need to invest this much money on these particular products. So if you do see me using these products, I am just trying to use them, and it doesn't mean that I don't like them enough to not use them at all. Some of them are, but some of them I just think that there are better things that I don't think you need to buy these particular ones. But I do actually like a few of these products and do continue to use them sometimes. If you see me using them, I'm not going back on my word. It's more just a case of I'm finding ways to use them up. I just don't think they're worth the money. You understand what I'm saying? So there are some repeats from my TikTok in this video, but there are a few new ones in here as well. So if you don't follow me on TikTok, I want you to see these products too. And if you do follow me on TikTok, there are a few things here that weren't featured in those videos. Okay, are we clear? Great. Enough rambling, Emma. Let's talk about some products that I don't like. Let's go. Number 1, first product. You know it's coming. The Rodial Primer. My God, I hate this. I've never had a vendetta apart from the Anastasia palette that everyone hated. Do you remember that palette when it went like viral for all the wrong reasons? I hated that palette. I threw it away. I've not actively disliked something as much as that in a while, and this isn't as bad, but I don't like this at all. This product claims to give you that glass skin look. It's supposed to be hydrating and luminizing. It's meant to make your skin glow and dewy. It does none of those things. On me, it makes my skin look so uneven, textured, dry. It's got pink shimmers in, which just emphasizes all of my pores. If you're laying your foundation over a horrible base, it's gonna ruin the finish of the foundation that you love so much. I have tried this with loads of different foundations off camera. I've tried to make myself like it. I don't want to buy something, and this is expensive. I don't want to buy something and not use it. So I kind of, you know, I've tried to make it work. I haven't found a combination that I like yet. I hate this primer. Don't buy it. And that's enough said about that. The next product is from one of my all-time favorite brands, and this is the Benefit Roller Liner. So I said this one in my TikTok and there was actually quite a lot of uproar. People love this liner. So if you're one of those people, amazing. I'm thrilled that it works for you. Continue to use it. The same goes for all of these products. If there's something here that you absolutely love, then amazing. I'm so glad. Like, I wish it worked for me too. But I don't like the Benefit Roller Liner. I actually do really like their real liner. It's actually the liner I'm wearing today, because this is a brush. These are felt tip liners, and just as a general rule of thumb, I rarely like felt tip liners. I think that they are much more difficult to get a fine, precise line with. I don't find them to go on as smoothly. This does last all day. It's really intense black. The formula of the actual liner is good. I just don't like the applicator. I feel like the tip doesn't get that saturated with product, so you have to push quite hard in order to get the product to come out, and then by the time you've done that, you've got quite a thick line because you've had to press quite hard. I'm not a fan of the Benefit Roller Liner. Sorry, Benefit. I love you. The next product is the Patrick Tar Plumping Gloss. So I'm wearing it right now. Like, hello. There's a man at my window. Hang on one sec. Hello, sorry, it's been about 20 minutes. I just had a lovely chat with Greenpeace at my door. What a lovely young man. Where was I? I actually don't know where I got to. Where did I get to? I think I just finished talking about Benefit roller liner. Oh no, Patrick Tar. That's where I was. I'm wearing it now. It's a pretty gloss. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice lip gloss. It plumps. It does what it says on the tin, but for the price point, you can definitely get a clear lip gloss with plumper in it. This is pretty expensive for what it is, and I never use it. I was about to recommend a different product. Sorry, I'm an influencer at heart. Can you hear that drilling? Of course, they started drilling. The next one is going to be a little bit controversial because this is a hyped product at the moment. P. Louise, The Cheek of It Flirty Flush of Colour Liquid Blush in the shade Bon Bon Baby. This is very much a hyped product right now. Everyone's talking about it, everybody loves it, and it's fine. I don't know whether I just got the wrong color, but it's so light. I love a light pink blush, but this one is just so light. It blends away to nothingness. It blends in with my foundation when I put it on, and I've only used it a few times and I like it. But I don't love it. But I do have products that I prefer that are more inexpensive to this. I actually have kind of a dupe of this, which I think I'm gonna do a side-by-side. I did it recently on my TikTok. I did a high-end versus high street side-by-side video. I think I might make a YouTube video as well, and maybe I'll use this in that. It's fine, and I'm sure a different color might work better for me, but I regret buying this. Like, I don't think I'll ever use up this entire tube. It's also a massive tube. 25 mils, that's a lot of blush. And if I loved it, I'd be thrilled about that. But because I don't use it, I'm like, now I have half a foundation full of blush that I don't use. But I do still use it sometimes. Next is the Urban Decay Lash Freak Mascara. I bought this because I've seen so many people rave about it, particularly Jamie Genevieve. She always raves about this mascara because I am such a creature of habit with my mascaras. Sometimes I do just feel like trying something new. I think I've used this like twice. Maybe I should give it another go, but I just don't like it. It just makes my lashes look spidery, adds a bit of length, but it makes them spindly and thin. It doesn't add that chunky volume that I really love. And I was so disappointed by this mascara. The one thing I will say is that it lasts all day and it doesn't smudge, but it's such a bitch to get off. I actually don't like mascaras that are waterproof or that are supposed to last all day because usually they're really difficult to get off. For example, the new L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. I adore this mascara, but it's so difficult to get off. I barely use it because it's just an inconvenience. And at the end of the day, the last thing I want is to be fighting with my eyelashes to try and get my mascara off. Can't be dealing with it. It looks okay, but it's definitely not one that I would repurchase at all. What is next? Next up, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Foundation. So this one's difficult. I don't hate this foundation. I do use this foundation and it does look nice when you use the teeniest amount of it. I would personally never repurchase this foundation. I do like how it looks when I really work it into the skin, like a super thin layer, because it's so pigmented and it's so full coverage. It looks really cakey on me. It also, by the end of the day, just looks really greasy on me. I have so many foundations that I much prefer for a much lower price point. As much as I do sometimes like how this looks and it looks lovely in photos and things like that, when it comes to actual products that I use that are worth the money, the cost per wear of this is not low enough for me to ever justify rebuying it. Yeah, I have loads of full coverage foundations that look lighter on the skin and that wear better on me, and this one just isn't it for me. This won't be a surprise, will it? This bloody Maybelline 4-in-1 Effector. There's nothing perfect about it. It makes me mad. It makes me mad. This is supposed to be like the Charlotte Tilbury glow, like that e.l.f. glow, the collection glow. I love those products. This makes my skin look so dry. It doesn't look luminized at all. It doesn't look glowy. It looks crusty. It makes my face look dry, uneven, and patchy. And I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I hate the way this looked on my skin. And I've used it like 4 times, twice on camera and twice me trying to make it work off camera. Sorry about that drilling if you can hear it. And it's just bad. I'm sorry, Maybelline. I love so many of your products, but I hate this product. And I said it in my TikTok, this came out at a time where so many brands were doing something similar that it just stands out like a sore thumb when it's being directly compared to the e.l.f. equivalent and the collection equivalent, it's so obviously not up to par because there's such obvious comparisons to be made. I'm sure a lot of people would probably say the same, but I just don't recommend this product. The next product is the Anastasia Brow Freeze. This does sweet F-all for me. It does not hold my brows in place at all, and I find it deeply infuriating. I was so excited to try this. Everyone was raving about it when it first came out. It was sold out everywhere. I worked so hard to actually get the product in the first place because it was sold out everywhere. And when I finally did, I like took off all my makeup, came home to try it for the first time, and it did absolutely nothing. And I think I've used it like 5 times. Probably bought this like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it came out. I don't even know why I still own it. Like, why do I still have it? I don't use it. It just makes my eyebrows a little bit greasy and then it falls down. It does not hold your brows in place. I have the best brow product I've ever tried that I will be talking about in my February favorites that I'm completely obsessed with. I can't see myself not using it for a long time. I love it. So much cheaper than this. So many people love it as well, and I don't understand how. Like, admittedly, I do have quite stubborn brows. Like, my brow hairs are pretty stubborn, but now that I've tried things that do work, I know that it's not my brow's fault, you know? I'm not gonna blame myself anymore. We have another Charlotte Tilbury product. So this is the Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer, and honestly the only thing radiant about it is the fact that there's shimmers in it. Like, there's literal glitters in it. It reminds me of like the Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation and concealer that had loads of glitter in it. It's kind of similar to that, not as obvious, but still. But the actual formula itself on me looks really drying. It's meant to be radiant and luminizing, but it looks really dry on my skin. It's pretty sheer, like coverage wise for me, and it creases really badly. So I have to use loads of product to get the coverage, but once you put more product on, it starts to crease because there's a lot of product buildup, and it just kind of is perpetually getting worse and worse the more you apply. I'm all about using a tiny bit of product, but in order to use a tiny bit of product, it needs to have the coverage to use a little bit. It needs to be densely pigmented for you to blend it out sheerly and still give you that coverage, and this just, it doesn't do that for me. I also don't like the doe foot. It's way too small, way too hard. Like, I think that the doe foot applicator is something that people actually really look at now. We love a good either chunky or flexible soft doe foot applicator. It makes the application smoother and it makes it a more enjoyable experience. Same with the NARS one. I love NARS, but the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, I also think this. The doe foot is way too small and way too hard, and it just isn't very nice to apply. If the price point, that drilling, if the price point was lower, I'd say it's fine. The price point is not lower. It's not lower, it's expensive and it's not worth it. Sorry, Charlotte Tilbury, I love you. Next up, we have the Hindash palette. This hurts. So this is the Beautopsy palette, and I love the concept of this. I love that they have these gradients, the ombre eyeshadows, super, super cool. It means that there's like natural blends between the colors. There's transition shades that are like built in. I think it's such a cool idea. I really wish I loved this because this was so expensive. This was so expensive. And I never use this. I never use this. I thought it would be amazing for travel. I was like, oh, amazing. I got my eyebrows, my blush, another blush if I want, liners, under eye setting powders and highlighters, contours. Like, I have every shade I could possibly need. Like, this is amazing. It's such a sleek, light, travel-friendly palette. Like, I love everything that this could have been, and it is nothing like what I thought. All of the shades come off really ashy on my skin, and they are not pigmented. I understand sheerer eyeshadows are better to work with. You build them up layer by layer and they create a really smooth, seamless blend. I understand that, but my God, I sit building up these shadows for so long. They are so sheer. They're so sheer. It is infuriating. Using sheerer eyeshadows is better for beginners because you're not just gonna put your brush down with a massive blob of pigment that you can't blend out. I'm also never gonna recommend to a beginner to purchase an eyeshadow palette that's this expensive. So it just doesn't win. I literally never used this. I tried to do a look with it today. The look that I'm wearing today was how I wanted that look to look, and it didn't. This was done with the Vive 90s palette, and it took me 5 minutes, and that I was building up for so long, and it never reached this level of depth. Meh. I think there's more than 10, I think I miscounted. But anyway, the final product, Refi, the Brow Sculptor. I don't like this at all. This is another one that went uber viral. Whoa. Whoa. Let's try again. This is another one that went uber viral. Everyone was talking about this. And Jess Hunt, she is angelic. And she has big bushy brows. So I thought if it's holding her brows, surely it will hold my brows. Drilling. I tried it again this morning. It's not what's on my brows right now, but I tried it again this morning just to be like, was I being harsh? Is it good? It doesn't do anything. I put it through my brows. It kind of turns them a slightly ashy color. It holds them up for like approximately 5 minutes, but by the time I've done the rest of my makeup, they've already fallen down. It just doesn't hold at all. Like I can't imagine going out and about on my day, going to London, going out wearing this. My brows just would never hold, ever. If it doesn't last throughout just doing my makeup, how am I expecting it to last throughout the day? This was a massive waste of money for me. I don't use it, I don't like it. I love the brow pencil. I use that all the time, but the Sculptor is an absolute miss. Oh, there's one more, the Fenty Concealer. I'm sorry, Rihanna, I love you so much. I'm sure you're watching this. You're my #1 follower. But this is so cakey on me. It's so thick, shows any texture. It's really not that blendable, and it kind of goes patchy on me. Obviously, I love the amazing shade range, and it is good coverage, but I really don't like the finish. When I put it on top of my foundation and blend it in, there's like a distinct line between my foundation and my concealer, which you don't want. You want a seamless blend. It's really matte, thick and drying. I really like a hydrating concealer, especially under my eyes. Believe it or not, I'm not getting any younger. My under eye creases pretty badly, so something hydrating really just helps to smooth over that, whereas using something super dry, it just cakes up under my eyes in seconds. I never reach for it ever. The only time I use this is to really target highlight, so I won't put it directly under the eye. I'll like put a couple of dots because this shade is super light. It's probably the lightest concealer I have, so I'll use it for that reason, or I'll highlight my nose with it. That is it. Absolutely not worth the money. I have so many concealers that I way prefer, and I'm sorry, Rihanna, but no, not for me. So those are 10, 12 products that I don't like, I don't recommend, I wouldn't repurchase. If any of these products are your absolute favorites, then I'm thrilled for you. Continue to use them, continue to give them the love that they deserve. They just don't work for me, I'm afraid. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see another video, maybe where I give you alternatives to these products, let me know. As always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and to subscribe if you're new here. I'd love to have you join us. I hope you have the best day, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye!